Okay, guys, you won't need any accoutrement, I don't believe. Let's just get on the ground. Let's settle down in for a few seconds here. We'll do a little bit of breathing, not a lot. Just so we can kind of settle down into the room before we start some flows. So I'm just going to put my hands on the belly, inhaling into the belly for your 4 counts. Feel that air just fill up, holding for a few seconds. And then let's exhale for 4. And holding out. And inhale again. And exhale a little longer. And inhale one more time. Let the spine just react with the inhale and exhale. And one last breath, inhale. And exhale. Very good. And just putting your hands down, just notice before we get started, kind of how your hips are kind of centered on the floor, what they're feeling like. Let's just do one. We're going to do arch, flatten, and curl. I'm not going to break it all up, but just to kind of sink into the room. I'm going to put my hands behind my head. Elbows are out wide. Good. Let's inhale, arch. Gently press those elbows down. Feel the lift to the lower back. And then we're going to go right into the flatten and the curl. Flatten, elbows hug, tip the chin, and lift. Good. And slowly release down. Open the elbows. One more time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten, elbows in, tuck it under. Feel that lower back press as you lift the head and shoulders, then drop the weight of the head in as you slowly release. Let the elbows come out and just relax all that tension. Lovely, arm is down. All right, so let's begin this flow now. I'm going to take my left leg straight down. We're going to start with the right side, okay? So when we do this, I want you to notice, trying not to, keeping the knees straight up. We're not going to press the foot in the ground for this. This is going to be totally the hip, okay? So just see, you can inhale first. If the breath starts to make you crazy, you can let that go, but I'm going to cue breath, inhaling first. And then on the exhale, just take that right hip without using the foot and lift. Just lift the hip a little bit. Just notice what that feels like. What muscles pick up to do that? What else are you feeling up the back? And then slowly allow that hip to drop back again. And let go of all the tension. Now, on some of this, with just lifting a hip, the brain might be a bit confused. So let's try it again. Inhale first. Exhale, lift. Good. Doesn't that knee want to, or the foot want to pick up and the knee want to open, right? You're not going to let it. And just let it drop down again and relax. Good. Does it make any difference if you are using the breath, if you inhale with a lift? That makes it very confusing for my brain. Just notice what it does for yours. And then the exhale and let it drop. Good. Now, whichever way for the breath is better for you, you're going to inhale and lift. Now pause at the top. Do you feel a little bit of arch in that lower back? And if so, if you take that same side shoulder blade and gently press it into the ground, what do you feel there? And let it release all the way down and get rid of all the tension. Good. Let's do it one more time. Lift that hip. Good. Now, what happens if you press the opposite shoulder blade in the ground and let the head move the way it wants to? Ooh, do you feel that? Like I really got that one up a little bit higher in my back. And let it slowly drop down and relax. Now, as we're doing this, let's do something else now. That was a lift. We're going to switch it up now. And I want you to take that hip, the right hip, and I want you to slide it up towards your armpit. So as you slide just the hip, don't do anything with the upper body. As you slide that hip up, you're contracting that side, but you're also lengthening the other, right? And then just allow that hip to drop back down and relax. Do it one more time. Almost think like if you have like a belt hook and you're sliding the belt hook up. What do you feel there, man? Like I feel a lot in that hip, all up and down here. Do you feel anything in your back? And let it come all the way back and relax. Now, that same side hand, it's all the way down there. Go ahead and slide that hip up. And now with your fingertips, feel like you're reaching down towards that foot. Notice how that accentuates it. Let the head roll to whatever side. Woo, I really feel that. And then just allow everything to come back and relax. Beautiful. Now, what we're doing there, do it one more time. Slide that hip up, draw that arm down, looking that way, right? So we're really working at contracting that side of the body. Feel the length on the other side without doing anything on the other side. Just notice what's happening. And then let everything come all the way back and let it go. Good. Now, take the left side. You can flex the foot a little bit and just reach that leg out away from the body. So you're lengthening that side from that long leg. What does that feel like? And then slowly allow it all to just come back and relax. Let's do it again, just that leg. Keep this stabilizer leg that's up. Make sure it doesn't go out when you don't press into the foot. You ready? So flex that long leg foot and reach it out and away. See, I feel so much on that lower back and the top of that hip when I do that. And bring it all the way back and relax. Let's add the left arm. So I'm just going to bring my arm up shoulder height. And as I reach that leg out, I'm going to reach my arm up as well. So inhale, exhale, stretch that leg out away. Bring the other arm up and stretch it up. Did you get even more feeling out of that? And release back. Good. So just focusing now on the left side from a movement standpoint. Inhale, exhale, reach the leg out, then stretch that arm up and just notice what you're feeling and slowly let it all go. Good. Now we're going to do a little bit of both. So start with the left leg, reach it out, reach the left arm up. Good. Now just feel the right side. Now think about slide the left up. And for me, it's barely anything. And reach that arm down. Oh, man. And bring it all the way back. And just let everything go. Nice work. Draw that leg down. Let's bring those knees in for a nice hug. Woo! Anybody feeling that on that side? Back of that hip on the right side. I'm really feeling that. So I might have to do that a few times today to really release it. All right, nice work. Dropping the legs down. Now take the right leg straight out. Good. And let's start doing that same thing on the left side. I'm going to do the slide up and then the lift separate. So I'm going to do it a little differently on this side. So let's just take that hip and slide it up towards the armpit. Good. Notice what that feels like now. And let that hip go all the way back to neutral and relax. Again, it can be really challenging to not use the foot or the knee, can't it? It's just that hip. Let's do it again. Inhale. As you slide it up, let the head turn however it wants to. Ooh, feel that. And let that hip go all the way back and let it go. Let's do it again. Slide that hip up. Notice the other side lengthens even when you're not focused on it, right? And now take the same side of that left shoulder blade. Press the shoulder in a little bit. Slide the shoulder blade in towards the spine. Does that accentuate anything? And then release it all the way back and let it go. Good. Let's do the two at the same time. So we're going to slide it up and press the shoulder in and maybe even press the shoulder down like it's trying to meet that hip. And release everything back and relax it. Good. Now we're going to lift that hip. So again, no foot, right? Just think about, can you lift the left hip? I can barely. I mean, my brain is very confused right now. It's like, I don't know. I really want to use my shoulder to lift it. I want to use my foot to lift it, but I'm not going to. And drop it down and relax. Let's try it again. Just lift the left hip. And allow it to drop back down again. I find that so fascinating. Let's do it just one more time. Lift the left hip. Good. And let it drop down and relax everything. Let's try the long leg. So let's try the right leg now. So flexing that foot, slide that leg down and out. And then let it come all the way back and relax. Good, let's do that one again. Slide that leg down and bring it all the way back and relax. Good. I'm going to bring that arm up as I slide that down. So slide it down, reach the other arm up, get a little bit more movement. So you're really lengthening that side. The other side is contracting. What are you feeling? It's the feeling of the sensations shifting and all the way back and relax. Beautiful. How about doing it one more time? Reach, reach. Good, looking. I still want to look. You typically will want to look to the side that's contracting, which is the left, and bring it all the way back. Good. Let's do it one more time, and then we'll add on the pulling up of the other side. So flexing that right foot, reach it out, reach the right arm up so you get that length. Now think about the left, slide it up, and that shoulder down. So now you're really getting a big contraction there, and bring everything back and let it go. Whew, yes. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to drop that arm down. Good. Now, let's go ahead. Let's bring both knees in. I'm going to do a rock because I'm feeling like I really need that. Oh, boy. Side hips. I didn't realize how much I needed this one, actually, especially after that workout we just did. It wasn't that bad earlier this morning. Beautiful. And drop both legs. Now, we're going to have both legs bent now. Good. Now, let's do this. I want you to think about that right hip, okay? No feet, just lift the right hip. Good. Drop the right hip, relax it. No feet, just lift the left hip now. Oh man, for me, it takes so much brain work to do that without doing it with the foot. And drop and relax. Good, now we're gonna switch things up a little bit. Take that right hip, lift it, pause there. Lift the left hip at the same height as the right hip. Now, let the right hip drop. Let the left hip drop and relax. Let's do that one again, same side. So first, we're gonna lift the right hip without pressing in the feet. Lift the left hip. It's really hard, isn't it, without using the feet? If you have to a little bit, obviously, that's fine, but try not to. See if you can keep them both up at a level place. Then let the right hip drop down and let the left hip drop down. Nice. Let's shift it the other way. So first, lift the left hip. Lift the right hip. Switch over so the left hip drops. Pause it right there so you feel what that feels like. Both knees are up. And then drop the right hip. Let it all go. Let's do it again. Lift the left hip. Lift the right hip. Let the left hip drop. Let the right hip drop. Good work. And maybe wiggle around a little so you get that. So you can see a lot of what we're doing here is what we do in the pelvic clock, isn't it? So let's do a bit of clock now as an integration. So let's inhale. We're going to go down to 6 o'clock. So allow the tailbone to drop. You'll feel that lower back lift. Then you can exhale. You come to neutral and then tip up. So you feel 12 o'clock, which is like the bottom of your rib cage. So I am lifted here. And let's drop again. Inhale, arch. And exhale all the way to neutral and the curl and lift. So you feel the top of the rib cage. And then come to neutral. Let's now lift the right hip. Drop the right hip, lift the left hip. So now your brain is a little more doing. I'm just going to go right to neutral and lift the right hip and the left. Try not to let the knees go out, right? The knees want to do this movement for you, but we're trying to really focus on the pelvis. Right hip lifts, drop, left hip lifts, drop. Now we're going to do this circle, but slowly. Inhale down to the 6 o'clock. I don't want to call it out, whichever way you go. So just drop one hip. I'm going to drop my right hip. I'm going to tip under to feel my 12 o'clock. I'm going to drop my left hip. My right hip is up. And I'm going to roll down to the arch. And I'm going to drop the right hip. I'm going to tip up to my 12 o'clock. I'm going to drop the left hip. I'm going to roll down to my 6. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to drop my left hip. I'm going to lift to the 12. I'm going to drop the right. And I'm going to arch down to the 6. Drop the left. Up. Right. And drop. Now that you've done it a few times, are you feeling it a little differently? And maybe the brain is a little more connected without you feeling like you have to use your feet and your knees. Nice work. And then if you feel like you got it, you can try to speed it up a little bit but still keep that. And then just pause there. Stop for a moment, drop both legs down, and just notice what you're feeling. If you're feeling a lot of tingling and things going on in there. What do the two sides feel like? What do you feel like up on the top of the hips, hip flexors? How do the legs feel? Do they feel pretty even? Nice. Now, bring your legs back up, bend them, and bring them out a little wider. Not super wide, but like if you have a mat about the outside of that. Good. Well, I'm going to start with my right. So now keep the left knee straight up, but allow that right knee to drop. It's going to drop inside like you get an internal rotation of the thigh, but also down towards that foot. So you're actually feeling the lift of that lower back. Pause there for a moment. Again, keep the left one up. You can look over to that side. You can press the right shoulder down in the ground a little bit, and then think about pressing the shoulder like towards the spine and maybe down a little bit. Just see if there's a place there that you feel. And then release the shoulder and the leg and bring it back up and relax. Let's go to the other side. Keep that right leg up. Just let the left leg internally rotate there and drop down towards the other foot. Good. And once you're there, you can look over that side. Think about the left shoulder now. Gently kind of tuck it under. And maybe wiggle that shoulder blade a little bit. See what you feel now. And then bring everything back to the center and relax. And let's go again, right side. Right side. Good. Again, maybe find a different angle for the shoulder blade, since we're really working on QL today. And bring it all the way back up. Let go of everything. And the other way, I'm starting to feel my legs shake in the inner thighs. And if that happens, just allow that shake. You're just releasing stress. And you're tightening up in that psoas, which is what holds so much stress. So if you just start that whole shaking, allow it to happen. Bring it up. Good work. And now bring those knees in. You can have them out wider, like to your shoulders, and maybe do some circles with those knees. Some out circles and then some in circles. Just letting the thighs roll in that hip. Excellent. Then dropping the legs down. Now I want you to take that right leg and cross it at the knee over. Good. Not the number 4, like the knees are together. Beautiful. You can bring your arms out a little bit, like towards the shoulders. And let the knees, both of them, roll over towards that right side, the top leg. And then you can take that left arm and bring it up. So you get that big stretch here. Pause for a second. Inhale. Inhale into that left rib cage. Feel it expand. And exhale, relax. Can you relax the legs too? Let's do one more nice deep breath. Inhale, reach the arm a little bit. And exhale, let it all go. Beautiful. Bring the legs up. And guess what? We're going to drop over to the other side. I'm going to switch the arm that's up. Just notice what that feels like. Inhale. And you can stretch up, feel that going into the ribs. What do you feel in the back and into that hip? And exhale, drop. And one more time, inhale up. And relax it. Beautiful. And bring them on up. Uncross. Good. Cross the other way. Left over the right now. Right at the knee. And drop it down the top side. So you're going to drop it over to the left. Inhale again. Exhale and let it go. Notice what that feels like. Notice if there's a place that you're feeling is constricting, something's being held. It is for me, and that's interesting because I can't quite put my finger on it. Inhale one more time. We'll do one more breath. And exhale. Good work. Bring them up and drop over the other way. Switch the armpits up. Inhale, reach. Again, into the rib cage. Exhale, relax. Inhale, reach. Exhale, let it go. Bring the legs back up. Uncross. Drop both of them down and arms down. Maybe do a little bit of a shake. Just notice what you're feeling now. Maybe take a nice deep breath. Do you feel a little looser maybe in the rib cage and in the hips? Beautiful. And now we're just going to do one more flow. So bending the knees. So instead of crossing at the knee, we're going to do our number 4. So you can gently press that knee away, maybe flex the top foot. I have my right leg on top of the left with the hand in that hip crease. Maybe press it away a little bit. Notice how it feels today. Good. I'm going to take the opposite hand. I'm going to bring that knee across one more time and gently pull in. It can be really nice to get a gentle stretch here in the piriformis and across the top of the leg there and into the IT. And just let that go. Good. I'm going to lift the leg and just do a little bit of a around the world here. If this doesn't work for you, you can just be there, whatever feels good to you in the moment. Even if it's just being there with that leg crossed is so plenty. Good. And then drop the leg. What does it feel like if you went over to the left side here? So that's a different place, isn't it? You can just notice what they feel like there, what you feel in that rotational rib cage. Maybe do another deep breath there. And exhale. If you want more sensation, you can take the left hand to the outside of that shin and pull it in a little bit, or maybe even at the knee and do a little stretch across there. It's a little bit deeper. Breathe into that. I'm not going to stay here too long. Bring the knees back up and let's go over to the other side. Again, a different stretch on this, isn't it? You can bring that arm up and do a nice inhale and lengthen through here again. Maybe even take and tuck under a little bit. And release. Let it go. And bring the legs back up. And switch sides. Up and over. Number 4, stretch. Flex the foot. Maybe take your hand and gently press it away. Like, quite frankly, I could probably be here for about 10 hours, stretching that away. And release it. Knee up and over towards the other shoulder. You can take that hand. Play a little bit till you feel that, if that's what you need. The thing that I find with these are where I need it is where I really feel it. When I don't need it, I'm like, no big deal. And that's perfect. That's just great information. And if you are feeling it, where can you kind of get a sense? Maybe you put your fingers kind of down in to get even more sensation for the brain, and then release it. Good. I'm going to lift and take this leg for a little bit of a round the world ride. Again, just getting more information in the movement. Go both ways. Good. And when you're ready, drop. And then I'm going to take that leg over so my foot is on the ground. Maybe take my hand here. Maybe take that left arm up, again, breathing into the rib cage. So you're getting rotation ribs, mid back, into the hip and the IT band. So much is happening on these moves. Beautiful full body stretches. Then I'm going to lift it back up and over to the other side, switching. And how does that one feel? Again, I find for this, if on this one, if I tuck under, think about tucking and lifting that hip while I stretch that arm. It's a whole other type of movement, and release. And bring the leg back up. Uncross. Let's just do a nice rock here. Forward and back. Beautiful, you guys. Good work. And then drop those legs down and arms down. And allow everything to settle. Getting rid of all the instructions. Everything, and allow the body to just recalibrate how it's feeling, all the new information that you've given it. Doing some nice deep breath in, audible sigh out if you can. Getting rid of all the rest of the tension. And just allow yourself now to be here in this space and to relax and to feel into your body. You're doing a nice full body scan, just 1, 2, 3. What are you feeling in general? And maybe starting down from the toes to the feet and the ankles, the calves and the upper legs, down into the hips, both front and back, full body, front and back belly, ribs, shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, hands, top shoulders, neck, head, and even the face. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the forehead and the cheeks. Good work, you guys, and allow yourself to enjoy all that great work. And just notice as you go through your day today how you're feeling, and if you were able to release some of that in the back. And I am going to bid you all a fair adieu, and I will see you on Monday. Have a beautiful weekend.